Emergency. Dial 911.
Operator 366.
I've just seen 2 cars crash into an armored truck. I think it's a robbery.
Where?
Just outside the factory gates.
What factory?
McManus Forge Company on Old Selma Road.
The first police car got to the factory 3 minutes later, but it was too late. The robbers had gone. They had knocked out one of the security guards and shot the other. Both guards were lying on the ground near the armored truck. The thieves had taken the payroll for the factory. The police called an ambulance for the guards and questioned 3 people who had seen the robbery.
Operator 217.
I want to report a fire.
Where is it?
The Pepsico service station on Hudson Street. Come quickly.
Yes, a fire engine will be there in a few minutes.
The fire engine got to the service station just in time. The convenience store in the station was burning. Fortunately, the fire hadn't reached the gas pumps and hadn't spread to the neighboring buildings. The firefighters were able to put it out quickly. The fire had started in the office. Someone had thrown a lit cigarette into a waste paper basket.
Operator 577.
There's a boy in the river. I don't think he can swim. I can see him from my window.
In the river? Where?
Oh, I'm sorry. Near Key Bridge, the Washington end of the bridge.
I'll send a paramedic ambulance right away.
When the paramedic ambulance got there, the boy was lying on the ground. A police officer had seen the boy in the river and had dived in and rescued him. The boy was all right. The police officer had given him artificial respiration. The ambulance took the boy and the police officer to the hospital.
Embarrassing experiences.
Reader's letters. Oh, no! Have you ever had an embarrassing experience? Who hasn't? Last week, we asked our readers to tell us about their embarrassing experiences. We received hundreds of letters. Here is a selection. A smart teacher.
My most embarrassing experience happened when I had just finished college. I had just started teaching at a high school in Denver. One morning, my alarm clock didn't go off. I had forgotten to set it. I woke up at 8 o'clock, and school started at 8:30. Quickly, I washed, shaved, dressed, jumped in my car, and drove to school. When I got there, classes had already started. I didn't go to the office or the teacher's room, but went straight into my first period class. After 2 or 3 minutes, the students started laughing, and I couldn't understand why. Suddenly, I looked down and understood. I had put on one black shoe and one brown shoe. Stanley Morris, Boulder, Colorado.
Hand in hand.
The most embarrassing experience I've ever had happened 2 years ago. My wife and I had driven into New York to do some shopping. The streets were very crowded, and we were holding hands. Suddenly, my wife saw a dress she liked in a store window and stopped. I started looking at some radios in the next window. After a minute or two, I reached for my wife's hand. There was a loud scream, and a woman slapped my face. I hadn't taken my wife's hand. I had taken the hand of a complete stranger. Gary Hall, Paramus, New Jersey.
A parking problem. My husband and I had decided to buy a new house, and I'd made an appointment to see our bank manager. I'd never met him before, and I was a little nervous. I drove into town, and I was lucky enough to find a parking space outside the bank. I just started backing into the space when another car drove into it. I was furious. I opened my window and shouted at the other driver. He ignored me and walked away. It took me 20 minutes to find another space. As soon as I had parked the car, I rushed back to the bank. I was 10 minutes late for my appointment. I went to the manager's office, knocked, and walked in. The manager was sitting behind his desk. He was the man who had taken my parking space. Margaret Larcade, San Antonio, Texas.
A ghost story. Doug and Kay are staying in an old house on Cape Cod. It belongs to Doug's uncle, and they've borrowed it for the weekend. They arrived an hour or two ago, and they're sitting in front of a fire in the living room downstairs.
Oh, Doug, this house is fantastic. I love old houses.
There's a ghost here, you know.
Doug, don't be silly. Are you trying to scare me?
No, I've been coming here for years. We used to stay here when I was a kid. I saw the ghost myself once.
This isn't funny, Doug, and I don't believe in ghosts.
You don't? Well, I do.
Where did you see the ghost?
Upstairs, in the bedroom.
Yeah, right. Did it have a white sheet over its head?
No. It was just an ordinary ghost. He was wearing clothes from the 1800s.
He? Who?
The ghost. I'll tell you about it. I'd been out walking all day, and I was really tired, so I went to bed early.
Had you been reading a book about ghosts?
No.
Well, go on. What happened?
I'd been in bed for 2 or 3 hours.
How did you know that it was a few hours?
There's an old grandfather clock in the bedroom. You'll see it when we go upstairs. Anyway, the ghost was standing beside it.
What did you do?
Nothing.
What did he say?
Nothing. He just stared at me.
How did he get into the room? Hadn't you locked the door?
Yes, I had. And the window, too. It was a cold, foggy night like tonight.
Was there a fireplace?
Yes, but it was too small for a man to get down. Anyway, there'd been a fire.
What did you do?
I sat up and stared back at him. I was too shocked to move.
Well, what happened?
I don't know how long we'd been staring at each other, when suddenly I shouted, and he disappeared.
I don't believe it.
I didn't believe it myself at the time, but when I told some people who live around here, they believed me. Some of them had seen the ghost themselves. They could even describe him. If you ask them, they'll tell you.
Doug, put some more wood on the fire. I'm going to sleep right here tonight.
Buying a present.
In a record store.
Excuse me. I'm trying to find Rat Run Rat by Please Be Funky. It's their latest single.
Oh, right. It's number 9 this week. CD or cassette?
CD.
It's right here.
Thanks. And do you have the new album by Titanium yet?
Heavy Metal Murder? Oh, sure, we have that. It's great. You'll love it.
Oh, it's not for me. It's for my grandmother. It's a birthday present.
In a jewelry store.
I'm trying to find a Christmas present for my wife.
Okay, what kind of thing are you looking for?
I'm not sure, really. Maybe you can help me.
How about a bracelet?
No, I bought her a bracelet for our anniversary.
Maybe a ring, then. These rings are made of 22-karat gold.
What kind of stone is that?
A diamond, and it's less than $5,000.
Oh, well, maybe you could show me some earrings then.
In a toy store.
Do you need any assistance, ma'am?
Thank you. Yes, I'm looking for a toy for my nephew.
Okay. How old is he?
He'll be 9 on Saturday.
What about a skateboard?
No, I don't want him to hurt himself.
How about a drum set?
I don't think so. His father will be upset if I buy him one of those. Do you have anything educational? You see, he's a very intelligent boy.
I have the perfect thing. A do-it-yourself computer kit.
Where is it made?
Good evening. I'm Jesse Carson. Welcome to Double Your Cash. Our first contestant tonight is Dawn Sikorsky from Lincoln, Nebraska. How are you doing, Dawn?
I'm doing fine, Jesse.
What do you do, Dawn?
I'm a librarian.
And were you born in Lincoln?
No, I wasn't. I was born in Omaha.
Okay. Now the first question is for $100. Are you ready?
Sure.
Where are Ferrari cars made? Are they made in Spain? Are they made in France? Or are they made in Italy?
That's easy. Italy.
Correct. That's great, Dawn. Okay, Dawn. You can take the $100 right now, or you can have another question and double your cash.
I'll take another question.
Okay. This is for $200. When was Martin Luther King Jr. murdered? Was it in 1963, 1965, or 1968?
He was murdered in...
A real bargain. Donna Wu is looking for a new house. She's with the realtor now.
Well, Ms. Wu, this is the house that I told you about. 341 Sun Lake Drive. The owners are away, but I have the keys.
When was it built?
It was built in 1936.
Who built it?
I have no idea. Is it important?
No, I guess not. Is that a new roof? It looks new.
It's pretty new. It was put on 2 years ago. It's in very good condition. The previous owner was a builder.
I'm worried about the electrical wiring. Has it been rewired?
Yes, it has.
Oh? When was that done?
5 years ago. It's been completely renovated. New central heating and air conditioning have been put in, and a new garage has been built.
Oh? When was that done?
The garage? Last year, I think. It's a very solid house. It's built of brick with a tiled roof.
I have a little boy in elementary school. Does a school bus pass by here?
Yes, right here on Sun Lake Drive. The children are picked up at 8 o'clock and they're brought home by 3:30.
It's really not expensive. I've seen a lot of similar houses, and they're more expensive.
Oh, yes. It's a real bargain.
Are there any plans for new construction in this area?
Excuse me? New construction? Well, yes, a new hospital is going to be built about 6 blocks north of here.
Anything else?
Well, a new interstate highway will be built next year. You'll be able to get to the city in half the time.
Where exactly will the interstate be built?
It'll be built just down the street. Sun Lake Drive has been chosen as the main exit for the city. It'll be interesting. You'll be able to watch the traffic.